There are stories that exist in the static between channels, in the redacted lines of classified documents, and in the quiet moments just before dawn. These are not tales of fiction, but fragmented memories of encounters with the unknown. And often, just after the inexplicable occurs, they arrive, unseen, unheard, until they are standing right in front of you. Figures in black, whose purpose is as obscure as their origins. They are a constant presence in the background of history, a shadow cast by a light we are not meant to see. For decades, witnesses of strange phenomena have shared eerily similar accounts of visits from these men. They come to question, to warn, and to erase. Who are they? Government agents tasked with enforcing silence? Or are they something else entirely? Something not of this world? We will now explore 5 of the most compelling and chilling encounters ever recorded. These are the stories that were never meant to be told. Number 5. The Maury Island Incident. In June of 1947, just weeks before the famed Roswell crash, Harbor Patrolman Harold Dahl reported seeing 6 donut-shaped aircraft over Maury Island, Washington. One of the objects appeared to malfunction, dropping hot, metallic debris that injured his son and killed his dog. The next morning, a man dressed in a pristine black suit approached Dahl. He recited every detail of the previous day's events, things Dahl hadn't told anyone. The man then issued a stark warning. Silence was not a request but a requirement for his family's well-being. This encounter is often cited as the very first report of a man in black setting a terrifying precedent. It wasn't just about seeing something strange in the sky. It was about the earthly consequence of looking up. Number 4. The Visit to Dr. Herbert Hopkins. In 1976, Dr. Herbert Hopkins, a respected physician in Maine, was consulting on a UFO case involving an alleged abduction. One evening, while alone at home, he received a phone call. The caller identified himself as a representative of a UFO research organization and asked if he could visit immediately. Hopkins agreed. Moments later, a man appeared at his door. He was dressed in a perfectly tailored black suit, but his skin was unnaturally pale and hairless, with no eyebrows or lashes. He spoke in a monotone voice, instructing Hopkins to destroy all the research materials related to the case. As a final, bizarre act, the man held a coin, which seemed to dematerialize in his hand. He then informed Hopkins that his energy was running low and departed, leaving the doctor in a state of shock and fear. The visitor was never seen again. Number 3. The Niagara Falls Intimidation. In the mid-1960s, a family visiting Niagara Falls, New York, had a close-range sighting of a large, silent, black triangular craft. A few days after returning home, 2 men appeared at their door. They wore dark suits and sunglasses despite the overcast day. They didn't introduce themselves, but immediately began questioning the family about their trip, focusing specifically on what they had seen in the sky. Their knowledge of the family's private activities was unnervingly precise. They warned the family that it would be in their best interest to forget what they saw and to stop discussing it with anyone. The men's demeanor was cold, unemotional, and deeply unsettling. As they left in a black late-model car, the family felt a profound sense of being watched, a feeling that lingered for years. This case highlights a common theme. The men in black often possess information they have no conventional way of knowing. Number 2. The Hotel Manager's Terror. Shane Sovar, a hotel manager in Ontario, Canada, had an experience that blurred the line between the strange and the terrifying. After he and a colleague witnessed a triangular UFO near their hotel, they were visited by 2 men who fit the classic description. Pale, thin, with large, dark eyes that didn't seem to blink, they moved and spoke with an unnerving lack of emotion. They inquired about the sighting, but their questions felt more like an interrogation. Sovar reported that during the encounter he felt an overwhelming sense of dread and a psychic pressure to comply. He described their presence as draining, almost as if they were feeding on his fear. The encounter ended as abruptly as it began, leaving Sovar and his colleague convinced they had not been visited by government agents, but by something profoundly non-human. Number 1. Albert Bender and the Three Men. The modern legend of the Men in Black begins with one man, Albert K. Bender. In the early 1950s, Bender, the head of a civilian UFO research group, claimed to have discovered the truth about UFOs. He prepared to publish his findings, but before he could, he was visited by three men in dark suits. They appeared in his room as if from thin air, communicating with him telepathically. They confirmed his theories, but warned him that humanity was not ready for the truth. They caused him to suffer a severe headache and left him with a potent sense of terror, ordering him to shut down his organization and cease all research. Bender complied immediately, closing his bureau and famously stating only that he had been warned off. What did Bender discover that was so dangerous? The answer, it seems, was silenced by the three men who stepped out of the shadows and into his life. These are but a few threads in a much larger, more complex tapestry. The consistency of these reports across decades and continents points toward a pattern. Are the Men in Black a psychological phenomenon, a shared cultural anxiety given form, or are they a tangible force, an agency of silence dedicated to policing the borders of our reality? They are the question that follows the mystery, the silence that follows the sighting. The truth, as they seem to prove time and again, is not always meant to be found. It is meant to be kept. Perhaps the most unsettling thought is not what they are hiding from us, but why. Thank you for watching.